Snow is obviously the big story this Saturday morning with potential blizzard conditions on the way. Chris is timing out how much we'll get as we brace for round 2 right now. And more snow means strict parking guidelines in and around Madison as city officials prepare to declare a snow emergency. What to know before you drive anywhere this weekend. And this weather is a good reminder that Winter Restaurant Week is just a week away. We are showing you the biggest deals for local restaurants.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning and thanks for starting your day with us here on News 3 Now. It's Saturday, January 11th. And we want to get right away, obviously, to the biggest story of the weekend. Chris, I know you haven't been sleeping at all because you've been tracking all this snow.
Yeah, last night a very heavy round of snow came through. The wind was honestly a little bit insane at times just being outside. Now that first round has come through and it dropped about 3 inches here on the west side of Madison. 2.5 inches officially recorded as you work your way towards the airport. There are still some areas some flurries happening right now. But if I turn this on just to loop the past 12 hours, watch how that very heavy band of snow moved through. There was actually a good period of some sleet and freezing rain. But one of the things I want to point out is towards the south and east, places like Milwaukee, the closer you were towards Milwaukee, they actually did not really get any snow out of this first round. They're going to get their snow as the second round comes through later on today. It doesn't look all that impressive as of now this morning, but pay attention to what's developing throughout parts of Missouri. That is going to be moving northward as we go through time, bringing with it round number 2 of snow as we move through this afternoon. So Keely, we are in no way, shape, or form done, but there have been some changes to the forecast. It now looks like we're going to see a little bit less out of round 2 here, perhaps a little bit more as you work your way towards the south and east of that fully updated forecast in about 10 minutes.
All right, looking forward to it, Chris. Well, due to these extreme weather conditions, emergency shelters will welcome anyone who needs a place to stay despite their capacity limits. Tonight, the Salvation Army's Family Shelter, Women's Shelter, and Porchlight's Men Drop-In Shelter will once again all be open. The shelters are ready with warm winter items, including socks, hats, gloves, and blankets.
We do not turn people away for capacity issues. And at this time of year, nobody would be out of days. But even if somebody had been suspended from services with the cold weather and with the storm, we have weather exception nights. And so everybody is welcome to come in.
Porchlight has already seen a season high of 148 people this winter. For comparison, they helped 170 people during those extremely cold temperatures last year. The city of Madison will declare a snow emergency once we reach 3 inches of snow. If you're outside the snow emergency zone, you have to follow alternate side parking rules. If you're within the snow emergency zone, that rule applies to you once the snow emergency is declared. If there's nowhere for you to park, the city opens parking garages and lots for free during snow emergencies. And city officials recommend you pay close attention to all parking signs, and we have those specific rules up on our website, Channel3000.com. And we have a running list on Channel3000.com of closures and cancellations due to the snow. So far, Madison schools and MSCR have canceled all programming events, school meetings, and athletics for both today and tomorrow. We'll continue updating this list as we get more closures. The Packers are also preparing themselves for the snow, and they're asking you to help clear the field before tomorrow night's big game. Starting at 6 a.m. Sunday, the Packers will take the first 700 people in line to help shovel out the stands. You'll make $12 an hour for your help. With more snow on the way, this is a quick reminder to download our Channel 3000 Weather and Traffic app. There, you can find the most up-to-date and accurate weather conditions on alert days like today. You can download the app for free in your app store. Now to Iran, where overnight the country's military is blaming human error, saying it unintentionally shot down that Ukrainian jetliner on Wednesday, killing all 176 people on board. The incident, which Iran had denied a role in, took place within hours of that country's retaliatory attacks on U.S. forces after the death of its top general, Qasem Soleimani. President Trump discussed details about the threats he says prompted the strike against the general.
We will tell you that probably it was going to be the embassy in Baghdad. I can reveal that I believe it would have been 4 embassies.
But Thursday night, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the administration did not have precise information about the threat.
We don't know precisely when, and we don't know precisely where, but it was real.
You were mistaken when you said you didn't know precisely when and you didn't know precisely where.
Completely true. Those are completely consistent thoughts. I don't know exactly which minute. We don't know exactly which day it would have been executed, but it was very clear. Qasem Soleimani himself was plotting a broad, large-scale attack against American interests.
The Trump administration is now revealing more about the additional sanctions against Iran that the president announced earlier this week. They say the new sanctions will target 8 senior Iranian officials involved in destabilizing activities in the Middle East, as well as this week's missile strike. Back in Wisconsin, officers in Janesville are asking people in the area of Rockville, Mobile Home Park, and Black Hawk Technical College to watch out for a man considered to be armed and dangerous. The suspect is wanted on drug charges. Law enforcement had to call off their search late Friday when it just became too dark outside. The man they're looking for is described as a black man who is 6'1" and 270 pounds. They're asking people to be vigilant and call 911 if they see him. We'll continue following this story in Janesville, and you can find the latest updates on our app. Wisconsin now has its first pediatric flu death of the season. It was a child under the age of 10 who lived in the southeastern part of the state. The Department of Health Services tells us the child died on the way to the hospital. They had influenza B, which has been especially problematic around the country this season. Experts say this season has been really tough on young kids and young people, but the worst is yet to come. Usually, flu seasons reach its peak in February here in Wisconsin. More local news now. Winter Restaurant Week is just a week away, and this year you'll find several new restaurants participating. Christina Laurie has the exclusive preview.
Hi, Keely. I hope you're hungry and everyone at home too. Restaurant Week is just a week away, and here with a preview of it, Madison Magazine editor Andy Bailing. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thanks for having me on.
So there's a lot new this year. What new restaurants are participating?
Yeah, we've got a couple new ones. Palette Bar and Grill on East Washington Avenue. We've got Merci, a new French restaurant on the square.
And Merci took the place of Field Table.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Same owners. But yeah, they've got a cool menu. And then we've got a couple that maybe have participated in the past but have been on and off. The list changes every year. We've got Eno Vino, the West Side. We've got the Boathouse. We've got the new Buck and Honey's in Monona, which is kind of cool. So lots of new menus to check out. There's 51 restaurants total.
Wow. And some restaurants, they choose to participate in Summer Restaurant Week, and they're added to this year's Winter Restaurant Week. That's kind of part of what makes Madison so unique. We have 2 restaurant weeks.
Right. People love Restaurant Week. It is like, it's the one week that you can try a ton on the menu. It's 3-course meals, dinner and lunch. That it's probably the best deal for a 3-course meal that you'll get at all these restaurants. So it's a really great time for foodies to check out places that maybe they, haven't gotten to yet and get a great deal.
And let's talk prices.
Yeah.
So a lot of these restaurants are offering, all of them offer dinner, but some also offer lunch.
Lunch, yes. I hope people know that there's lunch in Restaurant Week too, because there's $15 3-course lunch menus that some restaurants offer.
You really can't beat that.
No, you can't, and you get dessert at lunch, which is amazing.
It's not lunch without dessert. Okay, let's be real.
Right. Yeah. But then dinner menus start at $25. They go up to $35 for those menus, and all the menus are online, so you can check them out before you go. They're special menus that the chefs, kind of put their best foot forward, because they know a lot of people are coming in that maybe haven't tried them before.
$35 at a place like Eno Vino, I mean, you're not going to get better.
No, and a lot of them are $25. It starts at $25, so.
And do you have any tips for people at home? They can check out the menus on our website, madisonmagazine.com. Yep. But also, what about reservations? Will they fill up?
Definitely. Yep. We highly recommend reservations before. Restaurant Week is January 19th through the 24th. So yeah, definitely start making reservations now.
Okay, just a week away.
Yes.
So
we're excited.
You got your reservations, Keely?
Yes, I guess I do. That totally caught me off guard. I don't have them yet. I will get them. And we want to remind everyone one more time that this is happening the start of next week. So Sunday, January 19th and runs through Friday, January 24th. 3-course dinners start at $25. Some restaurants offer lunch for just $15. And you can find a full list of participating restaurants on menus on channel3000.com. Well, time right now is 5:10 and we are tracking the potential for blizzard conditions to develop later today. You are about to take a live look over the Capitol, which is looking even a little bit more white than usual. Chris has your alert day forecast straight ahead.
For an accurate forecast you can trust, watch First Alert Weather.
One round is through. We do have another round of snow to go. Here's been high-resolution Doppler as we've gone through the past 12 hours. Notice how that snow began to move in late last night. It started out as a decent period of freezing rain. Then some heavy snow came through as we moved through the late evening hours. Now we are dealing with a line of flurries that has started to develop. But attention now turns to a secondary area of low pressure that's developing right around St. Louis. Pay attention to the backside of that. It doesn't look impressive at the moment, but already you're starting to see that next round of wintry weather develop over parts of central and northern Missouri, and that is going to be tracking our direction as we move through the day. Now, there has been an eastward shift in that forecast track. So because of that, some of the areas that were under winter storm warnings have actually been downgraded to winter weather advisories. But I still do believe we're going to be seeing some impactful snows as we move later on into the afternoon and evening. Still, though, winter storm warnings for Janesville as you work your way up towards Jefferson and Walworth counties as well. This is going to continue into your Sunday morning. Now let's go ahead and time things out for that secondary round to move on through here. It's 7:30 going through this morning. I think we'll see some light flurries around then. Temperatures right now are into the upper 20s. We may see those temperatures fall just a little bit more into the mid and lower 20s. But with the cloud cover that we have out there, that's going to be just a little bit of a challenge. But nonetheless, we will be in the 20s, so those temperatures will be below freezing. But that next round begins to move in 3 o'clock. Pay attention to what's coming in from the south. Here we have the heavy snow moving back into the picture. By 5:30, I think right around dinner time tonight is when we'll likely see some of the heaviest of the snow. But temperatures are going to be key. They're going to be in the mid-20s. Last night, our temperatures were in the 30s, so we had more of a heavy, wet snow. This is going to be that dry, fluffy snow, and it's going to blow around easier in the wind. It's also going to be able to add up a little bit quicker than that light or that heavy, wet snow that we had last night. So that's why I still think we will see a little bit of impactful snow out of this, but the heaviest is just going to stay towards the south and east. By 9:30, we're still getting in on the snow. Temperatures start to fall into the upper teens. I do think it'll be a little bit lighter at this point. Then by about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, we start to see that taper down to flurries. For us, temperatures will then drop well into the teens on the other side of that. Now, I did mention a slight eastward jog. Yesterday, I was thinking about an additional 3 to 7 inches for us here in Madison, but notice how that heaviest axis is now a little bit further towards the east. For us, I think we might see an additional 2 to 4 inches today, maybe 2 to 5 in some spots to add on top of the 2 to 3 inches that we have out there right now. But we're going to keep those alert days around in the forecast, folks, especially with the impacts that you're going to see this afternoon and some of those impacts that you're going to see into tomorrow morning. Then we'll see another chance of snow tomorrow night into Monday. That'll be the little cherry on top for my birthday. You know, that little last round of snow.
I know.
And then we'll watch Tuesday and Wednesday as well, along with perhaps next Friday night into Saturday. But it's going to get cold by the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, highs will be in the teens.
Winter has officially or finally arrived.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
All right, thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Well, with the continued snow this weekend, local snowmobile trails may be opening soon. The Dane County Snowmobile Club said it's monitoring the weather and trail conditions to decide if it'll be safe to kick off the season. For trails to be open, there needs to be at least 6 inches of snow and steady below freezing temperatures. There are more than 500 miles of snowmobile trails in this county alone, and you need a state trail pass to ride. Packers fans are counting down to kickoff, and so is Green Bay's head coach Matt LaFleur, who fans hope won't stop breaking records just yet. LaFleur has led the Packers to a record 13-3 season, making him the most successful first-year coach in franchise history. But don't worry, LaFleur said it won't be hard to treat this like any other week.
Our preparation's been the same as it is every other week this season. And I know our guys are looking forward to it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of outside noise, and we just got to go about our business, trust our process, and do what we've been doing all season long.
Kickoff is at 5:40 tomorrow night. Your time right now, 5:18. If your resolutions include trying new things, you might want to add several of these new movies and shows to your must-watch list. Will shares his picks in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday.
Folks, we will see a secondary round of snow moving into the picture later on this afternoon and evening. That, again, will cause some issues. It's going to be a lighter, fluffier snow that's going to blow around in the wind and could briefly create whiteout to blizzard-like conditions at times. But this will not be a blizzard. It's just going to be weather that certainly makes you think of one. Here's when that heavy snow begins to move in. This is 3 o'clock. We'll start to see that first round moving in from the south, and that'll continue to build in. I think right around dinner, you're going to see a heavy, light, fluffy snow falling around with winds gusting upwards of 35 or even 40 miles per hour at times. That's going to create some issues. Even if the snow is not all that much, it's going to be hard to see. We will see an additional 2 to 5 inches of snow here in Madison. As you work your way over towards Milwaukee, that's where an additional 4 to 8 inches of snow is likely. Keely?
Thank you, Chris. Let's take a look at what is trending this morning, and they want you to want them. Cheap Trick and Rod Stewart are hitting the road together this summer for a North American tour. Stewart is headlining. They're playing 21 dates, kicking off July 21st in Cleveland, Ohio, and wrapping up in Chicago Labor Day. Most tickets are now on sale. Colin Farrell is taking on the role of Oswald Cobblepot, a.k.a. the villainous Penguin, in the next Batman movie. Robert Pattinson stars as the Cape Crusader. Zoe Kravitz co-stars as Catwoman. The movie, called The Batman, has already started filming and is set for release in June 2021. Nominees or not, there are several other shows and films now streaming that come highly recommended by our film critic Will Loper. Here's his picks in 3 things to watch.
What made your last keeper leave? Went mad, he did. Tall tales. What?
Take a journey into madness with The Lighthouse, new on home video this week.
What? What? What?
Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe star as 2 men stuck together on a remote island who must work with each other, but they start driving each other crazy.
How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days? Help me to recollect.
The Lighthouse is available to rent or buy everywhere now.
Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow!
Excuse me, you know where I could find some cool crime-fighting doctors?
Newly streaming on Netflix this week is the series Medical Police.
What does this look like to you?
A switchblade?
Even better.
Whoa!
It's a comb.
Whoa!
Aaron Hayes and Rob Hubel star in the Children's Hospital spin-off as doctors who must investigate a deadly virus.
This is crazy. We're in way over our heads. Owen, we can't do this.
Who are you? We are the police, and we're doctors.
All 10 episodes of Medical Police are streaming on Netflix now.
That better.
3, 2, 1.
Well, young man, I hope you realize what you're getting yourself in for.
Well, I must admit, I didn't know I was marrying into a house with an elevator.
Oh, it isn't only the elevator. The place is haunted.
You mean ghosts?
Frightful ghosts, all wearing stuffed shirts and mink-lined ties.
Finally, new in the Criterion Collection this week is the 1938 film Holiday.
And of course, you've heard about me. I'm the black sheep. That's the goat.
Johnny, don't pay any attention to
No,
it.
it's too late. The engagement's off. I won't marry into a family with a black sheep.
I think I like this man.
Hello.
Cary Grant stars as a man from humble beginnings who learns his fiancée comes from a wealthy family, with Katharine Hepburn as the bride-to-be's sister, who Johnny begins to fall for.
No, but this is terrible, sister. Do you realize that you're trying to marry into one of America's 60 families?
Well, when I find myself in a position like this, I ask myself, what would General Motors do? I'll do the opposite.
As long as you don't stand up in front of Father and do a back flip-flop.
Holiday is available to buy in the Criterion Collection now.
Sweet, but you know me, fellas, when things get tough, when I feel a worry coming on, you know what I do.
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch, and this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
And from movies to music's biggest night, the Grammy Awards are 2 weeks away from tomorrow. This year's show will last a little bit longer. 2 days after the big ceremony, the world of music will pay tribute to an icon, 7-time Grammy winner Prince. Alicia Keys, John Legend, Usher, and many more will perform in the special event called Let's Go Crazy, the Grammy Salute to Prince. The concert will be recorded and broadcast right here on Channel 3 and News 3 Now later this winter. Well, there's much more ahead on News 3 Now. The worst is yet to come weather-wise for us here in Madison and the rest of the viewing area. Chris is tracking some winter storms hitting us around 2 later today. We'll be right back. Getting better together, that's the mission of Oprah's new wellness tour, which is just a state away this morning. But you don't need a ticket to the show to learn from the mogul herself. Her top health advice just ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good morning. It's January 11th. I'm Keely Arthur. You can take one look outside and you will see that snow and ice are the big story of the morning. With even more snow on the way, we want to get right away to meteorologist Chris Reese.
Yeah, that's right. We are seeing temperatures that are below freezing, and that's going to create any issues when it comes to the snow that's out there. But one of the things I want to point out is just the difference in temperature across the state. Southeastern Wisconsin, Kenosha at 34, 31 in Milwaukee. 20s through central Wisconsin. Teens show up as you work your way towards the north and west. This is why, as we went through the past 12 hours, we had more so a rain event in the extreme southeastern corner of the state as we saw heavy snow just back towards the north and west. In the meantime, we do have some flurries that have begun to develop. Those are going to push southeastward as we go through time. We can also see a little development of some freezing drizzle on top of the snow, so that's going to create more icing issues as we go through the rest of the day. But our next area of low pressure, that's already starting to develop just back across the south and west, and that's going to be moving our direction, and that will bring round 2 of snow as we head into this afternoon. Expect that to move in probably around 2 o'clock or so. There has been a shift to the east in the track. We'll talk more about that, but I still do expect big impacts. We'll break those all down coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris, with more snow on the way, this is your reminder to download our Channel 3000 Weather and Traffic app. There you can find the most up-to-date and accurate weather conditions on alert days like today. You can download it for free in your app store. If you're looking for something to do while you're cooped up inside, avoiding the snow this weekend, you could get a head start on your taxes. IRS Free File officially opens this weekend for the 2020 season. Taxpayers who adjust gross income was $69,000 or less in 2019 can do their taxes right now, and the Free File provider will submit the return once the IRS officially opens the 2020 tax filing season on January 27th. The program offers free direct deposit or refunds to help you get your money faster. You can access it at the website on your screen, irs.gov/freefile. Oprah is just a state away this morning in Minneapolis for the latest stop on her 2020 wellness tour. That tour is bringing tens of thousands of people around the country together with a mission to make their lives a little bit better. David Begnaw joined Oprah for last weekend's kickoff, where she was joined by a very famous friend.
15,000 people packed into the BB&T Center in Sunrise, Florida on a Saturday morning. Hello! Ready to live their best life with Oprah.
And I hope that you leave here today with a sense of being connected to the answer of what is the more for you.
Take me to the king. Oprah's 2020 Vision Tour is a campaign to promote wellness.
We are doing this with 15,000 people in a sold-out arena.
I know that our desires are the same. We all want the truest, highest, purest expression of ourselves.
7 hours of what felt like group therapy with thousands of strangers, and it was strangely comfortable. The day started with insight, motivation, and a little bit of homework.
I'm trying to see how y'all are doing here.
Everyone was challenged to test the balance in their lives using a workbook that rated them on movement, nutrition, and purpose, among other things.
Thank you. My 2020 vision is to get rid of those fears that I had. This is who you are. This is what you're going to be. Be intentional.
Now at Weight Watchers. It was Oprah's intention to partner with WW, the company formerly known as Weight Watchers. It was started on Long Island by Jean Nidich, who wanted to lose some weight, and did it with a community of women who she would invite over to her house. They would weigh themselves. That was 57 years ago.
I love the new My WW program.
Oprah is now its largest individual shareholder. But long before she had an ownership stake, she says the point system that the company uses helped her to realize that living well isn't about staying home and starving yourself. So at each tour stop, Oprah highlights local restaurants that offer WW meals. Nicole Gates owns Lil Greenhouse Grill in the Overtown neighborhood of Miami. Their WW menu item is shrimp and collard greens. They thought we were just stopping by for a taste, but oh no. Once Nicole caught her breath, she served us some of Chef Kareem's tasty shrimp and collard greens, which yours truly had never had before.
How was it for you, Mr. Begnaud?
Very good. As we say in Louisiana, ça c'est bon. Ça c'est bon.
Very good.
It was sauce bone good.
Very good.
Sometimes women of color who are in a certain financial situation don't feel like they have access to these types of programs. So in order for you all to bring us in, where they can walk across the street and actually sit down, dine with dignity with their families, and be a part of a national program like Weight Watchers, makes the world just a little bit smaller.
Part of WW's push is wellness that involves working on your mental health. One of the biggest champions of mental health education is Lady Gaga, who stopped by to speak with us before taking the stage.
I know kindness is your mantra.
Kindness heals all things. It is the most powerful weapon that we have in our arsenal, and it's the only one that we should be using.
Gaga got very personal with Oprah.
I will put my shame in a box all the way over there and make it very small. And say to myself, I have mental health issues. I take a lot of medication to stay on board. And I'm a survivor. And I'm living and I'm thriving and I'm strong. And I'm going to take all my life experiences and I'm going to share them with the world and make it a better place.
Wow.
So many in the crowd were recording with their cell phones as Lady Gaga candidly revealed how she deals with pain daily that she says is caused by fibromyalgia.
So you're medicated all the time?
Yes, every day.
Every day?
I take no narcotics at all. No pain medicine, no. Yeah. I'm on antidepressants. I am on a medicine called methylcarbamol. And I am on an antipsychotic called olanzapine. And I take a few other things that are stress-based. But I want to be very careful about saying any of this, in a public way to tell anyone what to take. This is not, it's not the same for everyone.
And that is the kind of real talk which Oprah is known for getting from celebrities, who remind us that we are connected through our struggles. And with that,
Hey!
the first stop on Oprah's 9-city tour was over.
Thoughts on the whole day?
My thought of the whole day is, wow! This is unbelievable. I think this is so incredible. It makes me really want to cry. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to cry that people care so much that they would come out and they would give up their Saturdays and do this.
What is your intention for every person who comes?
I hope people leave with a rising in them because, I know that you can't come to a motivational speech or day and instantly change your life. But I want people to feel the rising inside them that yearns for the more and then have clarity about what that more is.
I just love Oprah. Oprah's entire interview with Lady Gaga is now posted on Oprah's Facebook channel. And today, Oprah will be sitting down with comedian Tina Fey. You can hear that full conversation next Wednesday on Facebook. If you're brave enough to leave home on this wintry weekend day, we are here to help. From the perfect date night comedy to laugh away your winter blues, to an opportunity to donate your kids' old bikes to those in need. Your Weekend 608 is just ahead on News 3 Now this morning.
We are still, of course, focused on the next round of winter weather that's going to be headed our way, especially as we move into the afternoon. There have been some changes to the forecast, so we've seen a slight shift to the east in that forecast track, but I still do believe we're going to have big impacts. Your full forecast is coming up right after the weekend 608. Keely.
All right, Chris, thank you for checking with that. And yes, it is the weekend in the 608. Here is a look at what is happening around Madison. Starting at the Majestic, on the heels of last night's Wisconsin Bluegrass Fest comes the Wisconsin Blues Fest tonight. This year's event features Kelsey Miles, Xavier Lynn, and Stackhouse, the family business, Madtown Manish Boys, and Boo Malarkey. If you're looking for some date night laughs, head to the Overture, a comedic performance of the one-man show Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, will not shy away from the highs and lows of dating and marriage. The show is based on the best-selling 1992 book by relationship counselor John Gray. And you can get a head start on spring cleaning by donating bicycles your kids have grown too big to ride. This morning, you can donate them at one of several drop-off sites around Madison and Dane County, set up by Free Bikes for Kids. The organization refurbishes thousands of bikes and redistributes them to kids in need. You can check out the free bikes on the Bikes for Kids website for where to drop off the bikes between 9 and 1 today in Madison, Fitchburg, Middleton, Monona, Stoughton, and DeForest. And for all the best the Madison area has to offer, you can check out the latest in Madison Magazine. Time right now is 5:43, and it's a busy morning in the weather office. You are taking a live look over the Capitol. Chris is tracking your first alert forecast next on News 3 Now this morning, Saturday. But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can celebrate with them right here. We'll be right back.
for reliable weather day in and day out. Watch First Alert Weather.
Snow and ice is, of course, the big story. We had a big round of snow and sleet move through Madison last night. Temperatures stayed a little bit warmer for places like Janesville over towards Milwaukee. So they ended up with more so of a rain event while the snow was back towards the north and west. Now, the heaviest of that has moved off, but we are starting to see some flurries begin to develop. We're also going to be dealing with perhaps some freezing drizzle. And that could create some issues as well. But attention is now actually turning to the state of Missouri. Our new area of low pressure is beginning to develop here. That's going to be tracking towards the Great Lakes as we move into the afternoon. That's where that secondary round of snow is going to come from. Now, there has been a slight eastward jog in the forecast track of this low. Because of that, your winter storm warnings have actually been shaved down a layer of counties. So that is why Juneau, Madison, and Monroe are now under winter weather advisories instead of the winter storm warnings that we did have last night. But I still do think we're going to see an impactful snow for all of southeastern Wisconsin as this begins to move on through. In fact, let's time it out. 7:30, we'll see some flurries around. Temperatures will be into the 20s. Now by 3 o'clock, pay attention to the south. Here comes that snow starting to move on in. 5:30, that's when I think we start to see some of the heaviest snow, and it's going to be windy as well. Last night's snow was a very heavy and wet snow. This was going to be a dry, fluffy snow. It's going to be easier to blow around in the wind with temperatures in the 20s, so that's really going to limit visibility at times. Here we are by 9:30. We're still seeing some of that heaviest snow, but it's starting to pull away at this point. I think by midnight, we start to see wrapping up snow showers at that point. Watch the snow totals, though. The axis of the heaviest snow has shifted towards the south and east just a little bit, but models are coming in, and we still could see anywhere from, I think, about 2 to 5 additional inches of snow as we go through the rest of the afternoon and tonight. But winds, folks, they're going to gust into the 30s at times. We've already seen wind gusts as high as 40 and 50 miles per hour throughout southern Wisconsin this morning. So these winds could actually be somewhat underdone. That's one of the problems. But midnight, as soon as that low begins to pull away, I think you see a very sharp drop-off in the winds relatively quickly. But with the light, fluffy snow and gusty winds, that creates issues when it comes to visibility. 3 o'clock, pay attention to how the visibility begins to change in a hurry. By 6 o'clock, half a mile to zero visibility for a lot of places, especially as you work your way over towards the lakeshore. I want to highlight places such as Milwaukee, because if you plan on traveling that direction at all, I think they have a longer duration of that low visibility. We're going to move from 6 o'clock towards 10:30. Our visibility gets better here, but the lakeshore, that visibility is still down around half a mile. So this is still going to be an impactful system at times when it comes to how much additional snow we will see. Places like Janesville up towards Milwaukee, that's where I think you'll see an additional 4 to 8 inches of snow. 2 to 5 inches of snow in Madison. Once you get towards the northwest of Madison, there's going to be a cutoff more sharp than a knife, folks, and you are talking 0 to 3 inches of snow. There's a reason for that 0. Some of you may not get any. You drive 10 miles down the road and your neighbor's like, hey man, we're plowing out here. We got 3 more inches of snow. So that is what we have to pay very close attention to. It's that extremely sharp northwestern cutoff, but southern and eastern locations, I think, are going to get nailed by round 2.
It is so interesting to see what different people in our viewing area get
it really is.
when it snows like this. So
I'm excited. Send your reports our way. Send your pictures and videos my way. Make snow angels later on today. I know
you will be, yeah.
I will be having a good time. I did my hang 10. Like I've been hanging out with my surfer friend all week.
Yeah, oh, true.
I know, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right, I want some video of you making a snow angel.
All right, we'll do it.
Thank you, Chris. Well, we've been asking you to share your morning with us, and check out this gorgeous photo sent in by Trish. Lovely sunrise right there. What does your morning look like? You can share it with us and take a picture, post it to the Channel 3000 Facebook page or Twitter, and just hashtag it MyNews3Morning. We will share our absolute favorites right here on the show. And you can stick with News 3 all day long, and then tomorrow morning our snow chances continue. Chris is tracking several alert days heading into the work week. But first, if you ever thought something you really wanted to do was impossible, this next story is for you. Meet the musician born without part of her arm who isn't letting any of her limitations get in her way. News 3 Now This Morning, Saturday. We'll be right back. All right, well, we have a story that ends on a very happy note, but that doesn't make it any less remarkable.
Here's Myri Villarreal with the story.
All right, will you guys play your D strings together?
Teaching first-time musicians at Austin Middle School is challenging for Carly Addison, but helping a student like Kayla Arqueta achieve her dream is exactly why she became a teacher.
I think that every kid deserves a chance to experience music education, and for us not to let Kayla play in the orchestra, then we failed everyone.
When you first came to talk to the teacher, what did she say?
That she's gonna find a way to help me like play the instrument. She told me it's gonna be possible.
The instrument is the cello. The challenge, 11-year-old Kayla was born missing the lower portion of her left arm.
Were you at all worried, though, at one point you're like, oh, I really hope I can live up to this promise?
Yes, but it's hard to explain. The doors opened up so quickly for this.
One of the doors Addison found open was 3 miles away at Nimitz High School.
The thing is, I was either going to jump on board or get left behind, because she was going to solve it in one way or another.
Engineering teacher Dwight Davidson enlisted 6 of his top seniors to create a prosthetic limb for Kayla.
I need to help this girl because it makes me feel a better person.
The students plotted and then printed a hard plastic prosthetic on a 3D printer.
I just like slip it on.
Oh, well, that's simple enough, isn't it?
The device acts as her left hand while her right maneuvers the chords. The performer and the prosthetic made their public debut at the school's winter program. The night celebrated a triumph of technology, a teacher's promise, and a young musician's dream. Mireya Villarreal, CBS News, Irving, Texas.
I just love that story. It's so inspiring.
Absolutely.
And you are being inspiring by, you didn't sleep at all. You've really been working very hard to track all this.
I got a solid 3 hours, maybe, something like that. But yes, I was tracking the snow overnight last night. It's hard to be a meteorologist and to have a snowstorm that you've been really excited for anyway.
Yes.
And then to go to bed when it gets here.
Absolutely.
You have to stay up. You have to keep people up to date. 2 to 5 more inches are expected by the time we go through the rest of tonight. I think 4 to 8 inches is the case for places like Janesville up towards Milwaukee. When all is said and done, I think we'll be right around 6 to 8 inches.
And it is the weekend, everyone, so drive really slow. I know crews are working really hard to get the roads clear. You can hang out with Chris and I at 8.